The Arms Trade Treaty, United Nations. This video is factual. This is what's happening. July 27th, 2012, President Obama and Secretary of State Hillary Clinton are going to sign an approval of it for it to move forward, and you need to know what it's all about. Now, this is not about liking or disliking the President of the United States. We are all entitled to our opinion. If you like the President or if you dislike the President, leave that outside. Right now, this video is focused on this treaty. Who thinks the UN is a scam? I do. This video is focused on the UN and this treaty, not the President of the United States. All right, if this UN thing goes through, it's going to destroy this country and everything that makes it great. I'm going to make some bold statements. Because who thinks that we need to have guns regulated on a worldwide basis? Who thinks the UN can solve all of the problems of genocide and all the terrorist problems and all the bad guys getting guns in Mexico and all across the world? Who thinks Fast and Furious was a total mess and a sham, and they think that Eric Holder committed perjury and should go to jail? I do. I'm fired up over this one. Welcome to weaponseducation.com. I have to bring you these gun law things. July 27th, the President's going to sign it, Hillary Clinton's going to sign it, and if it moves forward and the Senate does what's called ratifies it and approves it, we're in a world of hurt. The good news is the NRA's got our back, and I don't think the Senate's gonna approve it with a 2/3 vote. Let me bring you up to date on this. Welcome to weaponseducation.com. Please throw in your comments. Please subscribe, and please share this with everyone you know, because everyone needs to realize what's happening right now. This is huge, huge, huge. The Arms Trade Treaty being signed on July 27th. Let's discuss it and let's see what it means to us as law-abiding gun owners in the United States and what this could mean for the Constitution of the United States and the Second Amendment, and what's all the hoopla, it's all over the news, what's going on. I'm going to give you my 2 cents and what I think about it. Please throw in your comments. Like I said, this has nothing to do with if you like or dislike the President of the United States. This is about the United Nations, and do you think they can control firearms on a worldwide basis? I do not. I think it's a total mess. I actually think that I wish the United Nations would kind of leave New York and U.S. soil and, like, why don't you go plant that building right there in Iran, where we have some serious problems where they're building nuclear weapons. And the UN can't do anything about that? The UN couldn't do anything about Fast and Furious? I've done videos on Fast and Furious. Let's not change subjects. Let me give you the backbone of what the Arms Trade Treaty is. It started back in '03, and in '06 it started gaining some ground. It was adopted as Resolution 61/89. And then as it moved forward, George W. Bush, the previous administration, said, no, we want nothing to do with it. We denounce it. We're not going to sign it. The United States will not sign it. Now keep in mind, if the United States signs something with the UN, we keep our word. Unlike these third world countries who do not keep their word. So some of these third world countries are kind of loving this. Oh yeah, well, bring it on, bring it on. We're good guys. We're part of the UN. Iran, and we know the countries I'm talking about. Well, on October 14, 2009, the Obama administration, this is fact, announced in a statement released by Hillary Clinton and the State Department that it was overturning the position of former President George W. Bush's administration, which had opposed a proposed arms trade treaty on the grounds that national controls were better. $55 billion a year in firearms are being exported out of the United States by the manufacturers we all love and adore. Colt, you know them all, Smith & Wesson, Sig Sauer, all these companies, Springfield, Ruger, Glock. Do you want them to have their hands tied with handcuffs saying the United Nations telling all these manufacturers, you can't sell guns to this, that, and the other? I mean, what is this all about? This is the first step, in my opinion, in leading towards tyranny against the Second Amendment and leaning towards gun registration. Imagine this. If we all had to register our guns, I mean, look at history. What happened to our friends in the UK? In England, they had to register all their guns, and all of a sudden, oops, later on, a couple years later, yeah, the government comes and says, we know who owns everything now. We want your guns. I'm not trying to get everyone all wound up and scared, because the good news is, I'm going to read you some stuff here from the Constitution of the United States, is that the word ratification means approval by the U.S. Senate needs a 2/3 majority vote. What's going to happen this fall of 2012, on July 27th, 2012, the Obama administration is going to sign it. Him and Hillary are going to sign it. Okay? Well, now it has to be approved by the Senate. Now, if that happens, we're in big, big trouble. It's huge. It's massively a massive problem. Thanks to the NRA, as I get into this, they spoke to many senators, about 60 senators, and got them on our side so far, saying, we do not want this, we're going to vote no. I don't think they're going to get the 2/3 vote, but I'm still not happy with the fact that the United States of America is going on July 27th and approving of this arms trade treaty. You're going to hear the words ATT a lot in the future on the news. That's what it's known as. What's your input? Here's some stats on what the NRA is doing. Boy, oh boy, they've got 58 senators, like I said, to sign a letter to the President of the United States and Hillary Clinton, reminding them that the Senate must have the final say-so on all treaties. Let me move right into this. George Washington, the Constitution of the United States. By the way, when I look at a dollar bill, or if I look at a quarter, I don't think of money. I think of the most powerful man that ever lived, George Washington. We'll talk about that another time. That's a whole separate video. I can't wait to do that video. Man, what a man he was. Okay, Article 5. Our founding fathers wrote the Constitution and they nailed it. Article 5. The Congress, whenever 2/3 or both houses shall deem it necessary, shall propose amendments to this Constitution. So, if 2/3 of Congress say that this treaty is a good thing, it could be a new amendment. Article 6, not to get too complicated here. If it happens, the Constitution and the laws of the United States shall be made in pursuance therefore, and all treaties made or which shall have been made under the authority of the United States shall be the supreme law of the land. Meaning that Article 5, if 2/3 of Congress approve this treaty, Article 6 says The judges have to stand by it. You need to know about the UN Arms Treaty. That's it. I'm going to leave it short for now. We'll talk about this more in the future. Please throw in your comments. Do you think that regulating guns across the globe is a good thing or a bad thing? And it's okay if you think it's a good thing. And I'm not going against Obama or anything like that. I'm just trying to tell you the facts of what's happening right now. I'm a little besides myself, and I'm thankful for the NRA. I'm wondering what to do with my channel to help with gun laws, and I think the best answer is to get everyone to join the NRA. If you're not a member of the NRA and you own a gun, sorry, you should be ashamed of yourself. Watch my Wayne LaPierre interview, my Ted Nugent interview, and some other interviews I've done with people like Sheriff Richard Mack. I put the link below to join the NRA, and please, 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 if you can afford $25, you get $10 off, normally $35 for $25. The NRA needs us more right now than ever to convince the senators not to vote for this treaty. All right, thank you. I care about everybody. Check it out. I'm trying to bring gun laws to everybody's attention. Bye-bye.